No, I did not put these comfy Grinch jammies on just for this Grinch horror movie review. It's purely coincidental. Now, let's be honest, most parodies are not great. Most low-budget films are not great. We got a low-budget parody horror movie. I did not expect much from this, but yet I got a large amount of enjoyment out of it. That's not to say this was a good movie. It really wasn't a good movie. It was an entertaining movie because it's the Grinch, but it's a horror movie. That just makes it entertaining. All right, let me explain this. The way they did it was just funny. There was nothing horror about this other than giving the Grinch a mean look, because the blood they used in this movie was 100% CGI. There wasn't even like fake corn syrup blood. This was CGI blood thrown at the screen that didn't even look like it was in the same scene as the movie. That's how bad it was. Like, do you remember the old sci-fi TV network movies from 10 years ago, like Sharknado and things like that? That's kind of what this was. But in an entertaining way. I appreciate the way they did this movie because the Grinch in this wasn't always a horrific murderous monster. An accident happened that wasn't supposed to happen, which is why they call it an accident. And then basically the town turned him into it. As far as the plot's concerned, we got Cindy You-Know-Who. We can't use her real name, Cindy Lou Who, because of copyright issues and trademark and all that other stuff, who returns to Newville, again, copyright issue, 20 years after her mom is murdered by the Grinch. Next thing you know, Grinch returns, starts attacking the entire town again. Cindy You-Know-Who has to take care of the Grinch. Now, what I find interesting about this is that they still narrate this movie like they did the original cartoon, like they did the live action movie with Jim Carrey. So there is narration over the movie and they still try to rhyme with that narrating, and it just makes it funny. That's part of the parody. Not only do they do that, but they also play on words with the names that they're not supposed to be saying, like the Grinch. So when the Grinch is being described to Cindy by this local town drunk, he's like, oh, he is the, and then in the background you hear Finch, order for Finch. We know where they were going with that, but they can't say it. Also, this town drunk, his name is Zeus. And then when the new deputy asks him, like, the god? He's like, yeah, but everybody calls me Doc. And then the deputy calls him Dr. Zeus. Like, we don't know what that's supposed to be, which makes it, again, more funny than I expected. So there's a lot of these play on words, a lot of playing on the original, and then just the way the Grinch moves and acts is so very much like you would expect the Grinch to act in the original. So this just makes it more relatable than something that just came out of left field. The Grinch himself, I think the makeup was done really well. I mean, I think he looked good. What I would expect a horror murderous Grinch to look like. A lot like the original, but twisted up in a way that it's not so far-fetched he's unrecognizable. We have this girl who doesn't know how to defend herself. She can't punch, she can't kick, she can't do anything, she can't shoot a gun. But within a matter of like a week or two, she's now Chuck Norris mixed with a little bit of Jackie Chan. So, I mean, like, come on. But it makes for a good story. It works. I laughed. I thought this was original. And the way that this movie ended, the way... I can't say it because if you want to watch it, it is funny, but I think it's poetic justice. I really do think it's poetic justice. And there is a lot you could pick apart with this movie because there is a lot wrong with it, but you got to go into it knowing low budget, not expected to be some blockbuster, funny parody movie. That's all there is to it. Again, there's CGI blood, for God's sake. There's nothing there that's even somewhat realistic. It's just not going to happen. So there are a couple odds and ends that you might find, like a puddle of blood and some stuff like that. But if you just want something fun to watch, you got to give it a shot. Even if you get done watching this and going, I will never watch this again, at least you watched it once and you experienced what could be one of the most interesting parodies you will ever watch. And I say that because I'm not a fan of parodies. I'm not. I don't like them. I think they're weird and corny. And it's just, I don't know. Something about them just doesn't resonate with me. But this one did. But again, I'm going to reiterate this again. It's not a great film. Okay? The storyline is pretty good. The acting is subpar, but still in some areas and a lot of scenes, it's better than I expected. I'll say that. It's better than I expected. I think it's funny. I think it's worth a watch. I think you'll find it entertaining. Most important thing, you'll laugh. And that's what's important. So if you haven't seen The Grinch, I want to know if you're going to watch it or if this just looks too far out left field for you to begin with. If you did see it, I want to know what your thoughts are on this. So make sure you're leaving your comments down below. Do me a favor, please drop a like on the video for me. Does me a great service. I greatly appreciate it. And hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. I'm Kevin, and I'll see you at the concession stands.